Hi everyone, it's Lindey. Welcome back to my channel. Today I wanted to talk to you all about eBay promotions and why you should be using them. Now, when you say something like eBay promotions, there's a lot of confusion that I think people have surrounding that because there are so many different promotions that you can pick from on the eBay platform. And so just overall saying running an eBay promotion, people aren't exactly sure what that's in reference to, what's all involved, or even what it does for your eBay store. So now before I get into the meat of the video, I do feel the need to let everybody know that I am in no way affiliated with eBay. I am not an eBay employee. I am not a coder. I do not have an extensive knowledge of the back end of eBay's algorithm, nor do I have direct access to employees that do work on the eBay algorithm. However, I do feel like the information that I am about ready to give you does have some basis in fact based on my own personal experiences and the experiences of other sellers that I have talked to that have been on the eBay platform for several years. Therefore, everything that I am going to be discussing in this video is technically theory or speculation, but I do still feel like it has basis in fact. All right, let's get into all of the information that I have to give you today. eBay is a platform that has literally millions of sellers on the site selling likely billions of products site-wide. In order for your products to appear in the optimum search placement, there are certain things that sellers need to do with their listings in order to have optimum search results. Because when a buyer searches for a particular product on eBay, there could be potentially tens of thousands, hundreds of thousands, or millions of similar products that could appear relative in search. So in order for your listing to appear in an optimum search placement, there is speculation that there are certain things that you need to do with your listing in order to have that search placement. The first ones are primarily having good keyword optimization, nice pictures, and a competitive price. But then beyond that, there is a theory that there are other boxes that you need to check in your listing in order to have better search placement. And one of those theories is using a series of promotions in order to make your listing more attractive to not only the buyer, but to also the eBay algorithm. Because here's the thing. eBay is a site that exists to make money off of sellers. eBay itself does not sell products. All of the revenue that eBay brings in is solely based off of final value fees, store subscriptions, insertion fees, and promotions from sellers that pay a commission for the privilege of selling on the site. The eBay algorithm knows that the sellers that sell more will be contributing to the revenue increase of the eBay platform. Therefore, it is speculated that those sellers that are actively trying to make sales on the site will have optimum search result placement. And because eBay exists only to make money off of the sellers that sell, they want to, in theory, promote those sellers that bring a lot of revenue to eBay. So that could be the sellers that already have a lot of sales history on the site, as well as the sellers that are super active in trying to sell merchandise. And this is why the idea of running promotions is beneficial to sellers, because the act of running a promotion is showing the eBay site that you are an active seller that wants to sell merchandise and make eBay money. There is a theory that those sellers that simply list an item and then never do anything else with the listing, never run promotions, never run sales, never mark down their item to try to be more competitively priced, it is theorized that those sellers will end up having stale listings that do not have an optimum search placement. Therefore, those listings will sit stagnant on the site and likely never sell, primarily because they simply get forgotten about and end up on the last page of search. That's one of the reasons why I constantly preach being active on the eBay site, because the eBay algorithm picks up on those sellers that are active actively trying to sell their merchandise. The eBay algorithm wants to place those listings higher in search because they want to make money off of your final value fee. Therefore, the more things that you do to your listing to try to sell it, the higher search placement you're likely to have. So now let's say you've already done everything that you could to have optimum SEO on your listing. You've filled your title with all of the best keywords. You've taken beautiful photos and everything is well lit and clear to see. And you've done the proper market pricing research for your item and you are competitively priced in order to appear high enough in search based on either best match or lowest price first. Beyond that, the only other boxes that you should be checking off are the different promotions that eBay gives its sellers in order to sell your merchandise faster. All right, so now let's talk about the actual promotions that you are able to use to sell your merchandise on eBay. And I'm gonna start with what I think is the most important down to the least important. The most important promotional tool that I think is available to sellers that is also completely free is the ability to put best offer on your listings. I don't think a lot of people consider this a promotional tool because it's something that you opt into when you're creating the listing. It's not actually found in the promotions tab on your eBay Seller Hub, but I still consider it a promotion nonetheless. Not only that, but I feel like it is one of the most powerful, if not the most powerful promotions tool at our disposal as sellers. Here's why. Accepting a best offer has the potential to trigger more activity in your eBay store. I've mentioned time and time again on my videos that I truly believe that the act of accepting a best offer will instantly result in another sale later on in the same day, if not almost instantaneously. Again, this is not something that I have the clear black and white data to provide to you just from my personal experience, but I cannot tell you how many times I have accepted a best offer and had a sale result within the next hour. It's like best offer is a way to wake up your store if it has been really quiet all day long. Because on those days you're really not having a lot of sales, you get an offer in, you tend to accept it, and then suddenly it's like a chain reaction or a domino effect resulting in more sales. Because like I always say, eBay loves activity. An active store is a happy store, and accepting an offer is showing eBay that you are a seller that wants to make sales and that can instantly result in better search placement of your items. Because by accepting that offer, you have shown eBay that you're a seller that's serious about making money, and when you make money, eBay makes money. The second most powerful promotional tool, in my opinion, is the Markdown Manager. Again, this is a tool that is completely free for sellers to use, and it is just the act of running a sale in your eBay store. I personally find it the most beneficial to run multiple sales over the course of a month because it seems like my listings get a little bit more activity when a sale first begins and when a sale is about to end. So typically that means that I will run a markdown sale 2 to 3 times every single week. The only caveat is that you have to wait 2 hours in between when your last sale ends and the new one begins. You don't have to start your sales in the moment. You can schedule them ahead of time. So that means that 1 day a week, I will sit down and I will schedule all of the sales throughout the next 7 days. Almost every other day, I will have a sale ending and a new one beginning. Running a markdown is also another powerful promotion to the eBay algorithm because you are showing eBay that you are willing to discount your items to get more buyers interested in your products. Okay, so now real quick, I'm gonna show you how simple and easy it is to run a markdown sale. So we are here in my eBay Seller Hub. We are under the Marketing tab. In order to run a markdown sale, you are going to come over here to Markdown Sale. Then right up here in the top right-hand side, you're going to click the drop down to create a promotion, and you're going to select sale event and markdown. And then from here, you can choose what kind of discount you want to do, whether you want to do a certain percentage off. You can also take a certain dollar amount off of each individual item. You can also check this box to opt to give your buyers free shipping during the time of the markdown sale. I will do somewhere between 5 and 10%. Of course, a lot of people think that the higher the discount, the better, but because I already price my items so competitively and I also run best offer on all of my listings, I don't want to run too much of a discount. So you would select whatever discount percentage you want, and then you would move on to select the items. And then again, you have a choice. You can select individual items that you want to run the markdown on, or you can create rules, which is usually what I do, because I don't want to go through and just select a couple of items. Usually I want to run it store wide. And so if I was going to run it all store wide, I would do all inventory. And then you also have the option to select your own personal store categories or select from eBay categories. But I usually will run it all store wide for myself. And then you also have the option to exclude something if you want to. So if you wanted to run it store wide, but you would want to exclude certain SKUs in your store or certain item IDs, you would just click that and enter those in there. So these are all of the items. Save and review to move on to the final stage. And then here you have a few more options. You can opt to include new items when they qualify. So that basically means that if you are listing new items, that those items will be added into the sale. If you don't want that to happen, then you can just uncheck that box. You can also opt to keep your items blocked from revisions or price increases. So if you're running a sale, you can opt to say that I cannot revise items. I cannot change the prices while the sale is running. I have never personally done that, but if you wanted to do that, you could. And then here is where you would select the date and the times you want your sale to begin and end. I am not going to start a new sale because I currently have some sales running. But then from here, you would be able to write your sale event description. You could add in a certain logo if you wanted to. And then after you get all of that filled in, you just come down here and click launch, and the sale would begin at whatever time you had previously dictated. So now the next promotions I'm going to kind of all lump together because these are more of the legitimate promotions that you would consider running in eBay under the promotions tab. And that is running promotions such as buy two, get one free, buy one, get one 50% off, giving somebody free shipping if they purchase a certain dollar amount in your eBay store, or doing volume pricing across your entire eBay store, not just on an individual item. You can actually go through the different qualifying factors to a promotion and set your own terms. And that I can really appreciate because eBay is not trying to dictate to us what terms will be. They're not telling us that we have to do buy one, get one free or free shipping with a purchase of $30 or more. eBay gives us full control over whatever promotions we are wanting to run. And so now let's take a look at how exactly to run these promotions in your eBay store. So now again at the top right hand side, we're going to click the drop down to create a promotion. Let's take a look at the order discount first. So now if you're new to this and you don't know what kind of offer you want to give, eBay will help you decide that based on what you are wanting to accomplish. So if you want to do your entire store, then you would say store wide, or you would select an eBay category. And then it's asking you, what do you want to do? What is your objective? So based on your objective, eBay would recommend exactly what you want to do. So if you're wanting to introduce new items, if you're wanting to attract buyers at peak shopping times, or if you're wanting to move older items, eBay is going to tell you what they suggest, what kind of promotion you should do. So for instance, if you're wanting to move older items, eBay is going to suggest that you do an extra dollar amount off of so many items, or doing a buy one, get one, or giving an additional percentage off with no minimum purchase required. But if we go back here and just go look at all of the different options, you can only select one. But for instance, you can tell someone if they spend a certain dollar amount, they can get an additional dollar amount off. You can say that they get an extra percentage off if they spend a certain dollar amount. You can give them an extra dollar amount off however many items. You can do the buy one, get one, where you could do buy one, get one free, or you can change the quantities. You could do buy one, get one, a certain percentage off. And then you can also do a buy one, get one with a limit of one per transaction. So if you didn't want someone to go hog wild in your store and get a whole bunch of free stuff, you can put limits on it and give someone only one per transaction. So definitely keep that in mind. And then of course, the no minimum purchase discounts would be giving them an extra dollar amount off with no minimum purchase, an extra percentage off, or an extra dollar amount off of each individual item. So you would select whichever promotion you wanted to do. So let's say I would want to do a buy one, get one 50% off. You would then go to select items. And now this is going to start looking a lot similar to running a markdown sale. So you can select individual items or you can create rules. And then it's the exact same setup, just like with running a markdown. You can select eBay categories, store categories, or opt into all of your inventory being included in the promotion. Again, you can exclude things if you want to exclude them. Go over to save and review. And then it's the exact same thing here. You would just select your date, your start time, your date, and your end time. Now, promotions that are not markdowns, I will run a little bit longer. I don't run promotions personally every few days like I do with the markdown sales. So that part is completely up to you, but that is how you would do it. After you filled all this out, you would click launch and it would be up and running. So let's just go back over here. Now, volume pricing. So you have the option to do volume pricing across your entire store, or you can do volume pricing on individual items. So when you are creating a listing from scratch, down at the very bottom of the create a listing page, before you send your listing live, you have the option to turn on volume pricing. And that is if you have multiple quantities of that one individual item. So if you have a certain mascara or a certain product and you have 10 of them, you can opt to give someone volume pricing if they buy more than one of that particular product. Well, this is volume pricing across your entire store. So it basically says if you buy 2 or more, you can save a certain percentage off of each item, or 3 or more, you can give a bigger discount. 4 or more, you can give an even bigger discount. And then again, you can opt to select the start time and date and the end time and date. Now, I personally do volume pricing on individual items. I don't ever do it across my entire store. I have been intrigued to see how much that could benefit my sales if I do that, but I have not yet done that. But you would just select whatever you wanted to do for the volume pricing, and then you would just click launch and it would begin. And now finally, my least favorite promotion to run is promoted listings. I know that there are several sellers out there that just absolutely swear by eBay's promoted listings, but I have just personally never found the benefit of it. It's also the one promotional tool that eBay provides us that does cost money. Now, all of these other tools that I have shown you in this video does not cost you anything extra in order to use it. However, promoted listings does. Now, you as the seller do get to dictate how much of a fee you would want to pay to use promoted listings, but you still have to pay an additional fee nonetheless. So now it doesn't cost you anything to promote your listings at first, but as soon as the item sells, that is where the extra fee comes into play. You see, in order to have a listing be promoted on the eBay platform, you do have to pay an extra percentage towards a final value fee when your listing sells. And over the course of the last couple of years, since promoted listings became a thing, I have noticed that the percentage that's recommended keeps getting higher and higher. eBay will let you know what the trending rate is for that particular category of the item that you're looking to promote, and where it used to have been 3 to 4%, now is upwards of 10% or more in some categories. And if you thought having to pay 9 or 10% of a final value fee was high, imagine adding an extra 12% just to compete with the current trending ad rate for your promoted listing. That's paying over 20% when all is said and done just to have your listing promoted. And the thing is, you don't even really know if your listing sold because it was promoted or if it would have sold anyway. And the reason why I have a problem with not knowing one way or the other with promoted listings is because I am paying an extra fee to eBay. So if I'm running a markdown sale, or if I'm running buy one, get one 50% off in my eBay store as a promotion, it doesn't really matter if my listing would have sold at full price or with an extra 5% off, because I'm still only paying the final value fee to eBay after it has sold. But if I'm willing to pay eBay an extra 10% just to have my listing promoted, what if it would have sold without paying an extra percentage? There's no way to know that, and that I don't like. Especially because I tend to sell items that have a slimmer profit margin because I am doing liquidation or wholesale. The profit margins aren't as wide as if you're flipping something from a garage sale or from a thrift store. So when I'm working with slimmer profit margins, I don't want to be paying extra fees if I don't have to. So primarily for that reason alone, I really don't take advantage of promoted listings. I also don't feel like it's really necessary for me to use promoted listings because I don't think that a lot of the items that I sell have significant enough competition to justify paying an extra percentage in order to have better search placement. Because the entire idea behind having your listing be promoted is because you would be seen as a sponsored listing and you would have higher search placement than someone who is not paying an extra percentage. So really, I can see how promoted listings would be a little bit more beneficial if you were selling something that had a lot of competition. Like if you were selling an item where you had tens of thousands of competing listings that you were up against, because then that way paying a little bit extra to have better search placement or to have the word sponsored on your listing might appeal to more buyers. But if you're only competing against 100 or less listings, I don't really see a point in paying an extra percentage. I also don't necessarily see a point in paying an extra percentage if you're selling a very unique item and you're just simply waiting for the right buyer to find your product. But again, that is also up to you to determine. If you have enough wiggle room in your profits in order to pay an extra percentage to have your listing appear higher in search, then maybe it would be worth it to you to give promoted listings a try. But I have just personally not seen it as being a benefit for myself and my store, but it is still an option for you nonetheless. So I'm still going to show you how to do it. So let's take a look at how to actually run promoted listings in your eBay store. So here we are back in the marketing tab of the Seller Hub, and we're going to go to promoted listings. So now on the promoted listings page, you're going to see the summary, and it's going to show you all of the impressions, clicks, sold, total sales that came from promotions. And you could see here that I kind of tried a little bit here recently, and yeah, to no avail. It didn't really work for me, mostly because I was only promoting one item just to see what would happen. But to start a campaign, you would select create a new campaign. And then again, you can decide whether or not to select listings individually or if you want to do them in bulk. Usually people would like to do it in bulk. And when you select that, it's going to let you select your own personal eBay store categories, or you can select based on eBay categories. So you would check all of the boxes of the products that you would want to promote in those categories, or you can select all, which I'm not going to do. So let's just select a few here. And then you're going to click continue. And so eBay automatically tries to make it easy for you just by saying either exceed the trending rates or apply the same rate to all of your listings. So let's say you wanted to pay a flat 5% for all of your listings. You would select that, and then of course you would come over here and hit 5. Or you could let eBay set your rates and exceed them. So if a trending rate is 12%, it would automatically go to 13%. So you would be the highest sponsored listing. I probably wouldn't suggest that you do this one because you are letting eBay tell you what the trending rates are. I personally don't like that. So I would want to dictate at least applying all of the same rates to all of my listings on my own. I would almost just say apply the same rate to all of my listings, and you can select, 1, 2, 5%, whatever you want, and then you would hit continue on. You would then name the campaign whatever you wanted to name it to keep track of it. And then under more options, you would select the start date and the end date. Now it's automatically going to default to continuous. That means that it will run until you end it. If you don't put a specific date in here, then it will just go until you say stop. And then after you pick a date or you just leave it as continuous, you would hit launch, and then that's all done. It's as easy as that. All right, so those are all of the promotional tools that are at our disposal as eBay sellers. Now, something I wanted to make sure to mention is that you can use them all in conjunction with each other. If you wanted to try to check off all of those boxes for the eBay algorithm, you could most definitely run all of them together, but do take caution and make sure that you are pricing your items in such a way that when you are doing something like best offer, running markdowns, doing a promotion, paying an additional fee to eBay to have your listing be sponsored, make sure that you are pricing it in a way that if your item does sell, that you're not actually putting yourself in a hole and losing money, because when you take all of these discounts into consideration, suddenly you're eating into all of your profits. I personally don't use all of them together. I will usually just do 2 at a time. Sometimes I will run a markdown and a promotion, or I will just simply use best offer and a promotion, or best offer and a markdown. I usually will just use 2 of them because it does get really tricky with pricing. I don't want to run the risk of running all of the promotions all at once and end up taking away all of my profits. So if you are going to use all of them at once, just make sure to price your item correctly so that you're not losing money in the long run. Right, you guys, that's all I have for you today. Thank you so much for watching. Let me know down in the comments below, do you use promotions? Do you use promoted listings? Do you use a combination of promotional tools? Let me know down in the comments what you personally do and what kind of results you see. I'm always really curious to see what tools people are finding helpful to their eBay sales. Don't forget to give this video a like if you like content like this, and share this video with someone you can find that would benefit from this information. Don't forget to check the video description. I will put some useful links in there for you. And don't forget to subscribe if you haven't already, and ring the notification bell. That way you'll be notified whenever I post new content. Thank you guys again so much for watching. I will see you with my next video. Bye-bye.